Welcome to Baseline Movie, where every frame tells a story, your ultimate destination for the latest reviews, movie discussions, and cinematic insights. It was a regular morning when Sophia, the housekeeping staff, was wheeling a trolley down the hallway of the Grand Hotel. Her uniform was neat, her movements swift, as she made her way to clean the rooms. As she rolled the trolley past a few doors, her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a message from her husband. Her heart skipped a beat as she glanced down at the screen. The message read, "I cannot take you to the beach today due to some issue." She paused, feeling a mix of disappointment and understanding. She had been looking forward to spending the day with him, but something was clearly more important. After a few moments, she typed a simple reply, "Okay." She placed the phone on the trolley and continued her way down the hall. Suddenly, as if in slow motion, the trolley got stuck on the carpet. Sophia bent down to adjust it, but in the process, her phone slipped off the trolley and clattered to the floor. She looked up, and there, standing in front of her, was a man who had witnessed the incident. Without a word, he picked up her phone and handed it to her. "Thank you," Sophia said, slightly embarrassed. The man smiled and nodded before continuing on his way, disappearing down the corridor. Sophia watched him go, feeling oddly comforted by the brief interaction. She sighed and picked up the phone, checking the time. It was 7:46 a.m. Sophia finally reached her destination, room 1404. The door creaked open, and she stepped inside. The room was stunning. The interior was elegantly designed, with plush furniture, soft lighting, and a sense of serenity that took her breath away. She gazed around, admiring the tasteful decor, when something caught her eye. Bottles of alcohol were arranged neatly on the bar cart, a pair of shoes were placed beside the bed, and a chessboard lay on a table in the corner. Then, on the table, something peculiar stood out, a solid black mass. It was unidentifiable, just a strange, dark object lying alone in the middle of the otherwise immaculate room. Sophia didn't linger on it for long and made her way into the bedroom. It was just as beautiful as the rest of the room, with soft, white linens and an inviting atmosphere. As she made the bed, she absent-mindedly placed a few cube-shaped pieces onto the pillow. They were just cleaning supplies, but something about that moment felt almost ritualistic. After finishing her work, Sophia left the room and continued with her day. A week passed, and Sophia found herself at room 1404 again, ready to do her housekeeping duties. She knocked on the door, and a woman opened it, dark hair, sharp eyes, and a calm demeanor. Sophia greeted her politely, offering to clean the room, but the woman smiled gently and said, "I can do it myself today. You don't need to worry." Sophia hesitated, unsure whether to insist, but the woman's calmness was reassuring. "Okay, as you wish," Sophia replied. "But if you need anything, don't hesitate to let me know." The woman's voice softened as she introduced herself. "I'm Laura." Sophia smiled and replied, "I'm Sophia." The door closed gently behind her as she left, feeling the lingering warmth of the brief conversation. She didn't think much of it at the time, but that moment would come to have a much greater significance in the days ahead. 2 weeks later, Sophia returned to room 1404. She knocked on the door again, but this time, there was no answer. She pushed the door open and was met with an unexpected sight. A note lay on the floor. She bent down to read it. The message, scrawled hastily, read, "Dear Yogi, saw you in a couple of weeks. Don't work too hard." Sophia felt a pang of sadness. The note was clearly written for someone named Yogi, and though the handwriting wasn't familiar, the words struck a chord with her. Yogi. It was the name of the man who had picked up her phone in the hallway, the man she had briefly met, and in some strange, unspoken way, had felt a connection to. But there was something else troubling in this moment. Yogi was married to Laura, the woman Sophia had met earlier. Sophia sighed deeply, her heart heavy with unspoken emotions. She left the room in sorrow, her thoughts tangled with the truth she had just discovered. Another week went by before Sophia returned to room 1404, but this time, everything had changed. The room was in disarray. Glasses were shattered across the floor, the chessboard was in pieces, and the once immaculate space was now unkempt. The sight of the room, in such a state of chaos, made Sophia feel uneasy. What had happened? What was going on here? She didn't stay long. She left, feeling more confused than ever. A week later, Sophia came back to the room once more. This time, Laura was leaving. She passed Sophia in the hallway with a cold, distant look, but didn't say a word. Sophia, still trying to make sense of it all, entered the room. To her surprise, everything was perfectly restored. The furniture was in place, the glasses were intact, and the chessboard was whole again. Even a meal had been set on the table, as if someone had just been there. Sophia walked into the bedroom, and there, lying on the bed, was Yogi. He was asleep, his breathing steady. She opened the curtains, letting the light flood the room, and he stirred, groggily waking up. He looked at her with a blank expression but didn't say anything. Sophia hesitated, wondering if this moment held any meaning at all. But before she could figure it out, Yogi simply turned over and closed his eyes again. She left the room, unable to shake the sense of bewilderment that filled her chest. It was Thursday, another week later, when Sophia returned to room 1404. She was expecting to find things in their usual state, but this time, the room was empty. No one was inside. There was, however, another note on the table. It was addressed to Laura, and though Sophia didn't read it, she felt an inexplicable sense of finality. The note had been placed there for a reason, but she didn't know what it meant. Sophia left the room once again, this time, for the last time.